So, you have $500 and you're looking to start arbitrage betting. Well, you found just the video. I'm going to teach you step by step how to start arbitrage betting with just a $500 bankroll and turn that into thousands of dollars every single month. Now let's start with the obvious. If you had a larger bankroll to start, like let's say $10,000, you'd be able to make a lot more money right away arbitrage betting. But that's not the case. You only have $500, so we need to tame our expectations before we start thinking about the months where we're gonna make $5,000 or $10,000 plus dollars. In the beginning, you just need to focus on growing your bankroll. And that leads me to step one. The easiest way to start growing your bankroll is by taking advantage of new user bonuses and promos on sportsbooks. Almost every sportsbook is going to offer you some type of enticing new user promo, whether that's deposit matches or bonus bets for just signing up. And us profitable sports bettors, we love that because we can take those bonus bets and turn them into real money that help grows our bankroll. So step 1A would be finding out which sports books you have available in your state, and then from there, finding out which books you've never been on before, where you still have new user promos to exhaust. Getting super specific here, but if you do have access to Fanatics Sportsbook, that is a great place to start. They offer new users bonus bets that you can actually convert into real money and grow your bankroll like that. And if you did have access to Fanatics, you could probably walk away after converting your bonus bets with about $1,200 in total bankroll after that. However, I know that not everybody is going to have access to Fanatics. Most of you probably have access to either FanDuel or DraftKings, however. So with that most likely being the case, I'm going to show you how to get started with just those two books. And step 1B would be getting a software like OddsJam that's going to help you do all of this, from promo converting to actually arbitrage betting and more. OddsJam is amazing and something you have to have when arbitrage betting. Trying to do this manually would be impossible. With that being said, if you guys want to sign up for OddsJam, I'll leave a link down in the description below, but if you use my code DUSTIN35, you will get a 7-day free trial and 35% off your very first month. So now you're signed up on OddsJam and you're ready to convert your promos on DraftKings and or FanDuel. You're going to come over here on the left side of your screen and click Promo Converter. That's going to bring up the Promo Converter tool, which we're going to use now. On the left side of your screen here, you're going to see new user promos that are available on books in your state. But for this example, we're going to be talking about DraftKings and their new user promo where you can actually bet just $5 and get $150 worth of bonus bets. Little side note here, but a lot of these books change their deposit matches and promos seasonally or monthly, so it could change by the time you're watching this video. So I am going to walk you through converting your DraftKings bonus bet, but there's a reason why we're targeting the Fanatics, the FanDuels, or DraftKings this early. And that's because we have a small bankroll and it takes just a small bankroll to actually exhaust these new user promos on these few sports books. You want to save sports books that have large promo offers for later on when you have a bigger bankroll. That way you can fully take advantage of those offers. Those sports books being the BetMGMs or ESPN Bets of the world. And the other reason we're starting with FanDuel and DraftKings is because they have fast withdrawals, so it's easy access to our money when we're rebalancing our books when arbitrage betting. All right, now let's convert that $150 bonus bet we're getting from DraftKings. Remember, you have to place any $5 wager on DraftKings to get your $150 bonus bet, so do whatever you want with that $5 wager. I'm not really worried about that. So now that we have our $150 bonus bet from DraftKings, let's go ahead and enter it into the promo converter and see how we can actually turn this into real money. Of course, we're going to start with the sportsbook and we're going to be using DraftKings, so we will enter in DraftKings here. The promo type that we are getting from this sportsbook is a bonus bet, so we will select the bonus bet. And we know that we are getting a $150 bonus bet to take advantage of, so we'll type in $150 here in the bet amount and then click Convert Promo. And now it's going to show us bets that we can actually hedge between DraftKings and FanDuel to turn our bonus bets into real cash. Now I did adjust the filters to show only FanDuel and DraftKings as books to put against each other because we're starting out on those two books only, so if you have access to other books that you might be able to hedge against with DraftKings, then you could set those into your filters as well here. Now it's up to us to find a bet off this tool where we can take our $500 bankroll and convert the most real money from that $150 bonus bet off DraftKings. For example, the top few plays off the promo converter right here actually requires to have over $500 in our bankroll in order to convert this promo. But if we scroll down just a little bit, we find this one here where we only need $480 in order to convert this promo and get $111 to $115 in real money, which is about a 75% return. So how does this actually work? Well, we're going to be hedging our bets between FanDuel and DraftKings. So it's going to require you to also deposit on FanDuel. And in this case, you're going to need to deposit $330 in order to complete this hedge and get your real money from your DraftKings bonus. Now don't forget, if you've never had FanDuel before, you're gonna get a new user promo over there as well. Treat that separate and just repeat this process that we're doing for DraftKings with FanDuel after you complete this. Now, I know this is very specific with FanDuel and DraftKings, but you can do this with any sportsbooks you might have access to. It's going to be the same process, just different sportsbooks. However, this is exactly how we're going to hedge between DraftKings and FanDuel to convert our bonus bet right now. You see, we're going to take the over of the Brooklyn Nets team total at 108.5 on DraftKings at plus 297 odds for our $150 bonus bet. Then, we're also going to take the Nets under 108.5 team total at minus 295 on FanDuel for $330. Now, no matter what happens, we are going to convert our promo into at least $111 to $115. If our bonus bet on DraftKings wins, we're going to win $446, and if we minus what we bet on FanDuel, which was $330, we're going to walk away converting this bonus into $116. However, if the opposite happens and we lose our bonus bet on DraftKings, but win on FanDuel, we're going to walk away converting that bonus to $112. So just like that, after converting just one new user promo, being DraftKings, we've turned our $500 bankroll to $612 at minimum. And now, like I said, if you have FanDuel promos to convert, go ahead and do that now the same way we just did. Or if you have any other books that you have started with in this arbitrage journey, you can go ahead and convert those now. So let's say you were able to convert about 3 different new user promos, and now your starting bankroll before you even get arbitrage betting is about $1,200. And now you're ready for step 2. Actually starting to arbitrage sports bet. However, before you even place your first arbitrage bet, you need to split your bankroll across your books. If you have $1,200 in 3 books, I would maybe suggest putting about $400 in each book, so evenly. However, as you get more into arbitrage betting, you'll notice some trends of which books actually have more volume of arbitrage bets, and then you can start keeping more of your bankroll in those specific books. And since you're going to be constantly moving money around with arbitrage betting and making tons of bets, you need to check out EdgeBoost. EdgeBoost is actually the first ever cashback debit card for sports betting. Any dollar you deposit and bet, you're paid cash back on. Some people are making hundreds to thousands of dollars every single month just by using this card to bet. This is an absolute no-brainer, so I will leave a link down in the description to EdgeBoost if you want to check it out. So right now you have limited sportsbooks and limited bankroll, but that's okay. The goal every single day should be exhausting your bankroll across those different sportsbooks, securing as much risk-free profit as you can. Pro tip, if there's a slate throughout the day, like let's say day baseball games, and you're able to get off a few arbitrage bets throughout the day that are going to cash and be settled in your accounts before the night slate starts, then you can actually recycle your bankroll and get more arbitrage bets off for the night slate. Now with limited books and depending on the time of day, you might not see a ton of volume of arbitrage opportunities. However, there is going to be plenty that you're going to be able to take advantage of. The more time you can spend on the arbitrage tool, obviously, the more plays you can actually catch and get in. In the very beginning, whether you're getting in pre-match arbs or live arb opportunities, all practice is good practice, and learning how to use the tools is great. But pro tip, the faster you move to live arbitrage betting, the better. And that's because, unfortunately, limits are inevitable, and you're going to get limited if you're doing a profitable betting strategy. Whether that's arbitrage betting or plus EV betting, limits will come. However, with live arbitrage betting, it allows you to fly under the radar a little bit like a degen sports bettor, and just it's harder overall for them to keep up with live bets and who's actually being profitable. And eventually when those limits do come, you will typically see that limits are still higher with live bets than they are pre-game bets. The most ideal time to live arbitrage bet is between 7 p.m. and 11 p.m. Eastern time, when NBA games are going off like crazy and you have a ton of other sports like baseball as well. On the arbitrage tool, you can adjust your filters to show whatever books you have access to. In this case, we have FanDuel and DraftKings, so I'm filtering arbs between just FanDuel and DraftKings, which you can see here we have 2 live arbitrage opportunities between these books. Of course, there's other filters you can also mess with, but right here, since we have a smaller bankroll, we can actually adjust our maximum recommended bet size to whatever we'd like. If we want to take this down from 100 to 50, we could do that. But since we have split our sportsbooks evenly, we should have more than $100 in each sportsbook, so this is just fine. But of course, the more money you can get down on an arb, the more money you're going to get in risk-free profits. Now let's actually walk through an example of an arbitrage bet we would be taking. Here we have an arbitrage bet between FanDuel and DraftKings. We see all the way to the left, it's showing us what percent arbitrage opportunity this is, almost a 5% arb. Here it's going to tell us which event we are going to be betting, the market we're going to be betting, the bet and books we're going to be betting it on, the recommended bet size, and then here it will tell you the risk-free profit you will secure if you get these bets in. So this is actually telling us to take both sides of the money line of this EuroLeague basketball game. We're going to be taking Bayern Munich minus 215 on DraftKings at $100. Then we're also going to take Tel Aviv at plus 270 on FanDuel for $40. No matter what happens, no matter who wins, we are going to profit $6 to $8 on this arbitrage opportunity. Finding multiple bets, just like I showed you every single night, will have you well on the way to making $50 to $100 in risk-free profit each day arbitrage betting. And when you're starting out with a small bankroll, that should be the goal. Now, step 3 is about limits and scaling. If you did start out with Fanatics Sportsbooks, as I mentioned earlier, you're probably starting to see limits within 1 to 2 weeks, but that's okay. Exhaust them for all you can, and then withdraw your money and start putting it into your other sportsbooks. And now, naturally, through arbitrage betting, you're growing your bankroll. You've maybe reached $2,000 in total bankroll. It's time to add another book. Depending on the sportsbooks you have available, you might want to think about adding BetMGM or ESPN Bet at this point, where you can actually take advantage and convert those higher dollar amount promos. And now from here on, I would continue arbitrage betting, and ideally live arbitrage betting, and adding a new sportsbook for every $1,000 you add to your bankroll. In step number 4, you can start getting sports betting exchanges and sweepstakes apps to start getting down more pre-game volume. Those being Onyx Odds, Fliff, Rebet, ProfitX, and Novig. You can actually sign up for all of those using OddsJam's code, which is OddsJam, and you'll get your new user promos there. Now for step number 5, you're now off and running with likely a bankroll of $5,000 to $10,000. You're just gonna keep arbitrage betting and growing your bankroll. Now that's gonna be it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed and or learned something. If you did, make sure you leave a like. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button on the way out, as we post sports betting content like this every single week.